I don't think people understand how important it is for therapists to be open to spirituality, and not just in the Christian sense or the Hinduistic sense or any other practice religion, so to speak, but in the sense of extrasensory type of things, like people who have those clair gifts, clairvoyant, clairsentient, clairaudient, clairtangent, or whatever it's called. There's just so many. There's like 7 different clair gifts. And it's really important that people in the mental health profession understand that there are people with gifts. I am such a people. And I have been, sorry y'all, I need to actually tighten this. I haven't tightened it at all. But I am one of those people who has other gifts, and I'm not just your normal everyday person who suppresses their gifts anymore. Let's just put it that way. Though I never fully suppressed them in the first place. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because there are so many people who are mislabeled as psychotic or as someone with a multiple personality disorder or what have you, who actually aren't. Are there people like that? I'm sure there are, especially when trauma does create circumstances where people dissociate or create safe spaces in their head of a different personality or whatever. And those are usually extreme type of traumas. But there are people who hear voices because they are mediums, or they are creatives, or they are a combination of both, such as I am. Oh my God, it's so weird saying that out loud. So for instance, I'm a writer, right? I write almost anything. I write books, I write poetry, I write nonfiction book, regular fiction books, I write romances, I write screenplays, I've written children books, I've written articles. I write, because a writer is a writer is a writer, babe. And though when I'm writing fiction, I write what I hear. So when I'm writing a screenplay or I'm writing a short story or a novel, I'm writing what I hear my characters say. I'm writing how they feel, and that feeling that they create in me. So like I would often hear people go, "Oh my God, you're so good at dialogue," and I'm like, I'm literally just a secretary. My characters speak to me, okay? They like to speak to me, especially when I'm driving, because driving is like a meditative state, and so it just allows for your subconscious, your creativity, the muses, to intrude on your day-to-day life. And I won't even say intrude, let me say interject, right? So when people are like, you're so good at dialogue, I'm just secretary. I'm just writing down what my people say. Sometimes I am dying of laughter because damn, they're funny. They're funnier than me. And it's just really fun that way. I'm a writer who discovers. I'm not a writer who plans. I really suck at the planning part, like a lot, in all of my life. But this is where my ADHD comes in, because executive dysfunction, baby. I am not a planner. So, on the other hand, I just took a medium development class, mediumship development class, and I was pretty much almost 100% correct with the people that I had the experience of reading, which was a wonderful experience for me, because it made me realize that I have been a medium my whole life, and in almost every interaction I've ever had with people, and that's in person, that's online, that's on the phone. My goosebumps really are a good sign that I am saying and doing the things that I'm being called to say or do. So they really are divine downloads. And so it was just very validating. But this conversation is coming up because I just left my therapy session, and I have a Black woman therapist, and it just really feels like talking to a girlfriend who will listen, but it will also interject some, have you thought about it this way, type of thing in there. But it's just like a great time in that hour or whatever happens, because I'm always late. And so during that time, we talked about everything today, from the fact that I do hear my characters. I was telling her about a Christmas story that I'm writing, and it was just hilarious hearing the answer to the question that I had. Oh my God, it's a Cyber truck in the wild. Wait a second, y'all gotta see this. See that blue thing? That's it. So not only are you gonna be obnoxious, you're also gonna be obvious. Or as they say, is it ostentatious? Oh God, I forgot what that word means. I think that means like out there. I gotta look it up now. Oh yes, that is that. It's OS, because the way I was saying it sounded like AU, but it's actually OS. All right, so y'all, this is me on Adderall, by the way. Welcome to my brain. And she really was like, to finish up the thought, my therapist was really like, how do you deal with all that? Because like I said, I told her about the stories that I hear. She's like, well, when you wake up, like, what do you hear? And so I sang the song that I heard today, because I get songs on loop all the time. And it's like, geez, what was I thinking? Sometimes I feel like Bumblebee, right, from Transformers. And so it's like, okay, what are you trying to say in the song? Like trying to decipher the code of my brain. But like today's song, well, I forgot it. I sang it to her, but now it's gone. Bye. Well, it was some love song, but right now I got Deborah Cox in my head. How did you get here? I lost my voice a long time ago, but it was fun to do that right now. So I told her, like, I wake up with music, like almost all the time. Sometimes it's gospel, sometimes it's rap, sometimes it's cartoons, and also sometimes, like, y'all, like, I don't know if anybody else does this, but this definitely has happened to me, where I would wake up, and not really even wake up. Well, yeah, it has happened where I woke up. But sometimes it's like as I'm trying to fall asleep, and I would literally like yell out loud, not yell, but like say in a firm voice out loud, like, will you just go to bed? Because there would be so many voices in my head, like they just talking like it's a gathering, and it's like, y'all, stop. But now, like, I'm really beginning to understand that that's the mediumship, because sometimes those voices are speaking an entirely different language, and I understand the language, because like I can follow the conversation in my head, maybe like 2 people or 3 people, and I'll follow the conversation, or even just one, and the minute my brain goes, what language was that? I can't understand a thing. Like one time it was Arabic, another time Hindu, another time really rapid Spanish, another time I think an ancient language. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, can y'all shut up, please? So it's like crazy, man, crazy. And I say that affectionately. I don't say that at all meaning crazy. So, without the benefit of the TikTok filter. All right, so let me finish up what I was saying. So this week I'm going to my second mediumship class. So I'm really excited about it because I want to get better at this. I want to be more intentional, more controlled with my own gifts, but also, more importantly, confident. I want to be confident in my gifts because the experience I had last week, while great, really illustrated how unconfident, non-confident, or whatever the word is, that I am with my own particular gifts. Like, I question everything because I thought it was going to be something bigger. Like, I thought like the feeling would be bigger. I thought the experience would be something bigger than what I was used to. But what I emerged with, and something I just told my therapist, is like I really realized after that class that I've been doing this shit. Like, I have been seeing, I have been hearing, I have been speaking life into people directly from God, whoever he's using to deliver the message to me. And I talked about that on my previous video, that I used to call them divine downloads, but now I understand that when I'm doing the chattering, I'm actually channeling. When I'm getting my goosebumps, they are the sign that I am on the right path and I'm saying what I'm supposed to be saying. And that is just, y'all don't understand. As I'm, ooh, don't cry, girl. Kid's about to get in the car. As I am approaching my 46th year of life, technically my 47th, because my year 0 was year 1, actually. ADHD. Okay, so as I'm approaching that, I'm really, really, really becoming me. I'm really, really loving this woman who I have always been. And now it's like I get to uncover and rediscover her and fall in love with her all over again. And it's just like, life is shit right now, but life is so freaking great. It's like everything else around me is burning, but I am coming out unsinged. I don't know, I hope so. But it's like, with the pandemic, I said that the spirit world cracked open. With the pandemic, I said a lot of light workers and a lot of people who have been sleeping on their own spirituality, who have been dormant or afraid of their own gifts, will be called into action. And so many of us who did not answer that call, or who was lost in confusion like I was, spent these last few years in a wilderness by themselves. I have cried so many tears. Like, I could have wrote the song for Tupac, okay? The rap for Tupac. That was actually one of my favorite songs, Shed So Many Tears. But the wilderness is about meeting yourself. Oh man, it is. The wilderness is about meeting yourself. And so if you are in that wilderness right now, let me tell you, baby, one, there's an end to it. And it's not just an oasis that disappears. It is a place of rest when you meet yourself. Matter of fact, the wilderness actually is rest. It's rest. I used to grind so hard, hustle so hard, that being in the wilderness, I kept trying to do that and nothing was working because I had to rest. And it's so hard to rest when you got bills to pay, right? But I still managed to find me. I did all the things. I went to therapy. I got all my doctor's appointments. I on my medication, my Adderall. And by the way, Adderall has not made me lose my spirituality. Not the immediate release. I can't do the long thing because it keeps me from dreaming. But anyway, the extended release, I can't do that. So that said, therapy and spirituality really can go hand in hand. And if you do not have a therapist who understands that, leave them. You're not crazy. You're not psychotic. Like, you really are one of the gifted ones. Everybody has some form of spirituality, but there are others who are much more heightened and who are actually here to use it this time. So spirituality and therapy can go hand in hand. If you're a therapist and somebody is afraid to even tell you about themselves, you're not a good therapist. You're just not a great therapist. You might be good, but you're not great because they're withholding something from you. And that's what I have had to do for like 30 years of my life. And now I'm with one that, like I said, we chat about everything. And yes, I still gauge her reactions just to make sure she ain't finna write on there, she's a psychotic bitch. But no, like, I got proof in the pudding for me. Like, my things come true. What I say, what I do, I have the proof. I keep working. And I'm filled with so much light, y'all. Like, I was literally, like, stepping, hopping as I walked out of the office today. And that's what made me go, let me do a video. Because, let me tell you something. When you know yourself, nothing else matters. It just really doesn't. All right.